And your card is buried in the middle of the deck, right between the two jokers. For this trick, we'll go ahead and pick out a random card, truly a random choice. Let's just go right here. Take a look, make sure you memorize it. Don't worry, I'm not looking. All right, got it? All right, now top or bottom of the deck. Actually, you aren't here to answer. I'll just put you on bottom. I'm more of a top myself, but there's only one of each. We'll give the deck a quick shuffle, just like this, and then we'll also give it a cut or two. Make sure everything's mixed up nice and fair. Then all I need to do is snap my fingers, and your card is buried in the middle of the deck, but actually right between the two jokers. This trick relies on a special property of playing cards when you cut the deck. When you cut the cards, it doesn't actually change the order of the cards. It just changes where that order starts and stops. So to illustrate what I mean, I have all of the hearts here at the bottom of the deck in order. If we cut the cards, regardless of how many times we cut them, whenever we stop, let's say after one more cut, when we go and we spread through the cards, we'll see that all of those aces are still together right here on this side. They're just not at the bottom anymore. We just moved this packet further up. The entire deck's still in the same order. The order just starts somewhere else. And that's something we're going to use to our advantage in this trick. This is also really similar to the key card method. The key card method is where you have a single card memorized, and that is your key to unlock the door to another piece of information that you need. So say you have the King of Hearts memorized, and it's on the bottom of the deck. You know exactly where it is. What does that tell you? Well, if you pick out a random other card, and you put it on the bottom of the deck, even without seeing it, now you know that regardless of how many times you cut the deck, when you spread the cards, the King of Hearts is going to be right on top of that card. That is the key card method. You memorize the bottom card of the deck or the top card of the deck, and you use that as a key to tell you where another card is going to be. This does involve a little bit of manipulation, but you can get to it in some fun ways, kind of like I did in the performance section. You don't need to control the card to the top if you can convince the spectator that they should put the card on the top or the bottom. So, how do we use this to our advantage to trap a card between the two jokers? Well, first we need to do just a tiny bit of prep, and it's not even really prep. You can do this while you're talking to the spectator. You put one joker on top of the deck, and you put the other joker on bottom. Then you are ready to go. From here, you literally give them a free choice. The only caveat, if they try to reach for the top card or the very bottom card, like some spectators like to do, you can say, oh, you're going for the top card, oh, you're going for the bottom card, that's kind of bold, you sure you don't want something else? Try and push them towards something else. If they actually do take the top card or the bottom card, you can transition to a different trick because you literally know what they pulled out. You know that they grabbed a joker, and you also know right where the other joker is. So you can do a lot of different reveals from that if they pull out one of the jokers, or they'll pull out the joker and be like, oh, I grabbed a joker, and you can literally just put it right back, have them grab a card from the middle of the deck. But they do have a free choice, any card from the middle of the deck. Let's say they pull out five of spades in this case. From here, all you need to do is choose whether or not you want to put the card on top or bottom. It honestly doesn't matter. Give the spectator a choice though, because it makes them feel like you can't really be controlling it if they're the one that chose whether it goes on top or bottom. And it doesn't matter if you put it on bottom because one joker's on top of it and one joker's underneath it, because remember what we talked about, when you cut the cards, this joker's going to go right below it. If you put the 5 on top, one joker's already underneath it and one joker is already on top of it, because the second that you cut the cards, this joker is going to go right on top of it and it'll already be sandwiched in between the two jokers. You can actually do this with however many cards you want. Just as long as you keep putting them on top and bottom, they'll be sandwiched in between the two jokers. One of my favorite things to do with this is if I have a couple that I'm doing the trick for, I will have them each choose a card and then I'll ask them top or bottom, and it always gets a good laugh from there. So let's just say we're doing top here. Now you're probably wondering how I was able to shuffle the deck, not just cut it. The shuffling comes down to some just simple shuffle control. When you go to riffle off the cards, with your left hand, you're going to riffle off at least one card first to keep the joker on the bottom. Then you're going to keep at least 2 cards up top. I kept more than that for demonstration, but you want at least a couple up top to keep the joker and the spectator's card up top. You can do this however many times you want, just as long as you release with the left thumb first and you hold back with the right thumb, so that way you keep the one joker on bottom and then the 2 cards that you need up top. Shuffle as many times as you want, but once you start cutting, don't shuffle anymore. Because if you shuffle from here, the cards are buried in the middle of the deck already. So once you're here, just keep cutting as many times as you want. In fact, you can even have the spectator cut the cards. It's best to tell them what to do, like pick up any number of cards that you want, set them aside, let's complete the cut. Ask them if that was fair, and then you can just reveal. Honestly, most of the time that I do this trick, I don't even use the jokers to trap the card. Instead, what I do is I just glimpse whatever the bottom card is somehow, like in this case, we have the 2 of diamonds. You can turn it over like that, or you can peek like the top card, move it to the bottom, whatever. Then the spectator truly has a free choice. Even if they choose the bottom card, you already know what the bottom card is. But let's say in this case they pick out the 4 of diamonds, okay? Then they can put top or bottom, you can shuffle the cards, give it a couple of cuts, ask them whenever they think that it's good, let them cut the cards. Then you just use that normal key card method. Even if you didn't see what their card was, you know that their card is right underneath our 2 of diamonds. And all you have to do from there is like and subscribe. The possibilities for this are pretty endless. Just knowing how to use the key card and knowing the fact that when you cut the deck, it doesn't actually change the order of the cards, it just changes where that order starts and stops. At the most basic level, you just memorize what the bottom card is, let them pick out a random card, and then you can do a ton of cool reveals from here. So, one of my favorites is to spread the cards, then pretend like I am struggling to figure out where their card is. I'll go across and be like, I don't think it's over here, separate the cards. I don't think it's over here, separate the cards. You can have someone point out their finger like this and pretend to feel their pulse even. Place it down on their card, and you're good to go. What are some ways that y'all use the key card method or use cutting the cards in general? I'd love to hear them. Drop them down in the comments, and I'll see y'all next time.